Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another episode of Getting Started with C Sharp. I'm Faisal, as usual, and today we will continue our previous discussion on object-oriented thinking. So you can find the code in this link GitHub, and you can get the video from this link YouTube. So object-oriented programming, or we can also describe it as object-oriented thinking to solve the real-world problems. So what was that, our problem? We wanted to create an application that loads the postal codes of Dhaka district into a grid view. It is done in our previous video, and in this video we will add the searching functionality. So let me describe you our work plan in different way in this video. So in this video you can see this is the form layout. The blue one is the grid, and I added a text box above the grid inside of the form, and I type anything to search. Okay, so our work plan is when the form loads, we want to show all data. Then when we type something in the text box, we will fetch the text from the text box, and we will filter on the main data list according to the input, and then we will search that whether the input exists any part of the property or not, and then we will bind the resultant data into the grid, so that while we type onto the text box, the resultant data of the grid will be changed dynamically. So let's start coding. It is the latest code I checked out from the GitHub. If I press F5 or start, you can see it is the latest code of the last video. So first of everything, I will undock it in this way. Where is the dock? It is here, and I'll do it in the bottom so that it will be docked in the bottom side. Also, I will add a text box to input the query string. Okay, and what was our plan? When we type something, that means we need to find an event which occurs while we type. So when we continue typing, we need to find whether there is any event which fires. Well, you can see in the text change, the description says this event raised when the value of the text property is changed. This is what we need, isn't it? So this method will be fired every time we change the text property. That means we type or write anything into the text box. Now the problem is, in here we want to filter on the main data set, but where is the main data set? We don't have any field or global variable in here, so we need to create this variable as the global or the field variable, and we want to name it as a all postal codes, because we want to store all of the data into this list. Now we are having the main data set, then get the input into a variable. So how can I do that? So string query equals to text box 1 dot text. This is the text what we type onto the text box, into the text box. Now here comes the interesting part. We need to filter it. Filter on the dataset. How? So in our previous videos for the LINQ, we have seen that to work on the LINQ we must have what? A plural type, a variable on which we do the querying, and a resultant type. So if I write from and press tab, so it is automatically generated. Then we need to add a where clause, where code dot. Okay, so on which property we need to filter? Every property. That means suppose we start with district. Well, in this problem the district is all the same, Dhaka, so we don't want to filter on the district. Instead we want from the second part, the police station dot contains what? The query part. Also we have seen that the LINQ is super case sensitive, so we need to make the both query and the collection both case insensitive. That means to upper. Now this query part is to upper, and this police station is a string, also to upper. Select, sorry, contains query. There is a so what does this result do? This postal code will tell me give me the police stations which have any part of it has the query. But we also want to check with the other properties, so we need to add or. Sorry, forgot that. Or code dot sub office to upper contains what? Query. And similarly or code dot postcode contains query. So we have three different clauses. So the postal codes now telling me it has all of the postal codes which has either the query contains in the police station or the service office or the postal code. And again we want to null the data source of the grid, and then data source equals to postal codes. But since the postal code is not the list, we need to do it as a to list. That means we want to list it. We are building it, building successful, run it. Suppose we want to DA, see DA is from Dania, and also it has Badda. Suppose if I delete the input, again all of the data in here, if we write DE, you can see DE is coming not in here, but if we check in the sub office, Uttara has the DE inside of it. So what about 30? So we have two postal code, 1330, 1230. So it's a dynamic searching you are seeing. So in our future videos we will replace the fetching from the text box and replace it with fetching from the database. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I'm not giving you any assignment on this video. I will prepare a specific assignment for you and provide it in our another video. So keep in touch, inshallah. Allah Hafiz.